Hello and welcome to this week's MVC Baseball Rawlings First Pitch segment. I'm your host, Joe Healy. Today, I'm very excited to be joined by Indiana State head baseball coach Tracy Archuleta ahead of his team's tough home series this weekend against Murray State. Coach, thank you for joining us this morning.
No problem, man. I'm excited to get to talk to you, Joe.
Let's actually go back to last weekend just briefly. You know, your team in a hard-fought series with Evansville had a couple one-run losses. What would you like to see from your team moving forward to flip those types of games into the win column moving forward?
One is not to overthink it too much, but just learn from the past weekend that how important every pitch is, from the first pitch to the last pitch, and basically just competing and taking advantage of opportunities that we had. You know, you can go back to any game and look at, one at bat or one hitter that possibly you should have been done differently and handled it differently in order to get more production out of. It goes to the simple stuff of like a runner on third base and less than 2 outs of hitting that ground ball to score that run. Maybe not expand in zone and trying to do too much from the pitcher standpoint of knowing when to attack a guy and knowing when to be able to let him get himself out. It's a mind game, and as we get to later and later in the season, the teams that are able to adjust and handle different things and being able to do something different than they have done because the percentages are out. In today's analytical world, I mean, everybody has the information of what you're going to do, and your ability to change and to do that stuff in short periods of time to get them to overthink it is huge from both the offensive and the defensive end.
Max McEwen really set the tone with his outing last weekend. Is that the best you've seen of him so far this season?
I'm sorry, you said Max? Is that what you said?
Max. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Max's outing against U of E was he just continues to get better. He continues to get better into there and to do different things. His ability to throw his changeup, his fastball's live. I mean, his ability to throw it downstairs is good, but he's able to throw it to the top of the zone. And Max has really developed this year, and it has a lot to do with Coach Gordo. It has a lot to do with himself too, just how he holds himself accountable every day. His ability of wanting to be great and wanting to get into that role. I mean, like as an example, in starting the year, he was in our pen for us. We thought he'd be really good out of there, and he was. And then we had a couple injuries, and it was easy to put Max in the starting rotation. And he's just taking it from here.
Grant Parson returned to a rotation role last weekend after an extended absence. What are your expectations, generally speaking, for him moving forward, both from the physical and the result standpoint?
Well, it was tough because we didn't want to throw him over 60 against Evansville, and he got into that, and we knew he was getting tired. I believe it was in the fourth, and he had a couple walks into there, and so you could kind of see that his condition wasn't to midseason form. So to move forward, he has to be able to get us, get his body that he's going to be into that 80 to 100 mark, and he will. I mean, you saw it, in the first 3 innings. I mean, Grant's ability to pitch, his pitchability is high. His fastball is going to be anywhere between 88 to 91, but he can still be 91 in the fourth or fifth inning, and that's what makes him really good. But his ability to throw the curveball and the changeup with it is really good. I mean, Grant has a good career ahead of him. He's a really good college pitcher. And as he gets mature and stronger, and like we joke around with him all the time, like, could you eat, please, like 6 times a day? Because I just want that jersey to look like it's filled out before you leave us. Grant's he's a good young man, and him and Max both, and when Grant's healthy, he can be very, very just as good as what Max is, and that's the positive. We just have to get him back into the pitching shape and get him rolling.
How happy just generally are you with what you've got in the bullpen. Seems like you've developed a specific core with Armstrong, Morris, Seaman, guys like that to help bridge that game to the end.
You know, I'll start with Gav. Gavin has been with me for I think 4 years now, and so his his overall development is off the charts. He was an 84 to 86 guy as a freshman, and he's just continued to get better, develop the cutter that he's able to throw it, between 86 and 88 miles an hour. And the bullpen is the best. It's been the best thing for him. We were starting him back when he was at Southern Indiana, but then as coming here, we just felt that coming out of the bullpen and giving us quality innings would be the best thing for him. And like I said, we knew, I would say that we hoped that this is what Gavin was going to give us, and he's given us really good stuff. And then Armstrong has been the biggest surprise. He was a walk-on guy that we took late in the summer, and to be honest with you, I thought he was going to be up 10, down 10. Throw him in there, throw strikes, just kind of swallow up some innings for us. And he started in that role. And then all of a sudden, he's just matured into being a guy that has been a good, long relief guy. He'll get some holds for us to get to the back end. And very excited for him for another year ahead.
Flipping to the position players side for a little bit, what has led to Carlos Pena's special season where he's just been this kind of catalyst for you offensively?
It was hard because we didn't see Carlos, or I didn't see Carlos until January swing a bat because he got hurt over the summer. And so, he had to have surgery into there. So he got back in January, started swinging. I mean, we counted on him being one of our middle of the order bats, but really didn't know. When you're going into a new team and you have players coming in, you look at stuff, and I know he got some opportunity in 24, but it didn't hold. You could see that, and so he was kind of back and forth. She didn't know how he was going to handle the whole season, and so there was a point in time for 2 weeks, man. It was backside bombs, it was pull bombs, it was things that you just kind of say, oh, somebody's feeling a little bit, and it's crazy. He's had some 2-strike home runs that he's in a 2-strike approach that he has a little pop in there, and it's been fun to watch. And like any hitter, he goes through a little slump into there, and I don't even want to say it a slump, just a bad at bat, but his ability to get the next at bat has been really impressive.
You've had a few different hitters cycle through the leadoff spot, including Pena at some point, but it seems like Carter Beck has really kind of latched on in that spot and been a big deal for you. What has allowed him to have that success?
And this isn't anything against Beck. We would like to have Beck possibly in the two spot, or even in the behind Pena, but we really don't have a leadoff guy like that typical leadoff guy. And it's hard, especially in today's game where things have changed. And as we move forward into the season, I want a guy that we want at the plate the most times. And so between him and Pena, that's why we started Pena there, because we felt that he was our best bat. Let's just give him the most at bats. And then as he's kind of developed, and then how Beck developed, we were able to keep him there at that top spot. The best thing about Beck is he comes up to the plate, you're going to get a quality at bat. He has a chance to leave the yard at any point in time. And then when he gets on base, he can run. So, he has some different dynamics in there. We got to get his short game better. He always jokes with me. I don't know what he has. What does he have? 9 home runs. So he'll probably tell me, I hit enough home runs there, coach. I said, yeah, but instead of hitting 299, you could be hitting 320, so with that. So, but anyway, he's young. Sophomore. He's a great young man too, and that's even it makes it better. He makes me laugh with that Canadian accent and is all the other stuff. But he's done a really good job for us.
You tell me what I asked you about Thomas Emmerich, and you tell me if my read on this is incorrect. He strikes me. He strikes me as the kind of guy who you're never planning your lineup around him, but it gets to a point where you just have to play him because he performs, and then he just stays there. Like every day he's in your lineup, and he's not necessarily what you plan in a specific spot, but he earns his way in, and then he just sticks because he does a lot of things well.
Thomas Emmerich is a baseball player, and I mean that with the highest regard, in a sense that, just like you said, when you ask him to do something, he's able to do it. And at times you pull your hair out and different things. And like you said, if you saw him in a showcase, you would cross him off. You wouldn't recruit him. You would just, well, he's above whatever, probably a 7-2 runner, 7-3 runner. He's not physical. He can play second base. He could play short a little bit. We end up moving to first. He's played left field for us. And but at the end of the day, he's quality in everything that he does. It's like, I'll use the U of E game, which is probably the best performance that I've seen him have. Like, he was hitting doubles, he was drag bunting, he was lining out, and like the drag bunt, everybody, oh, that was a great. That's not me. That's Thomas Emmerich seeing what he has and what's available, and gets and just getting on base and knowing what to do there. And again, he's had his times back and forth, but right now, like even like last night, like it just continued. I mean, barreling up baseballs, and he's fun to watch, and it's great to know as a baseball player that you don't have to be the biggest, you don't have to be the strongest, you don't have all these other things. Just understand the game and understand what the opportunity is for you to succeed and be able to use that. And that's what he's been able to do. And couldn't be happier for that guy, because he's had a long career. And it was a hard decision for him to come to Indiana State because he didn't want to get lost in the shuffle. And I think what when he called, once he went in the portal and he called me, I said, Thomas, I said, the benefit for me is I know who you are. You're going to get that opportunity. You're going to get opportunity. What you do with that opportunity is going to be up to you, on what happens. And if you play, and I don't know, I mean, I'll look at stats here. Thomas Emmerich has played in 30 of our 40 games. So, 10 times I said, hey, Thomas can't play today. I don't know why, I guess, but I said that, but at the same time, I'm just happy for that young man also.
Last thing for you, Coach, before we let you go, tough series this weekend, as I mentioned at the top, against Murray State. What do you feel like it's going to take to get a good result there?
The number one thing is we have to get a starting pitching. We have to have 3 quality starts. We've had a hard time with that throughout the year. It's a team that is not going to hurt themselves. They pitch very well. They're really good offensively. And Skirka does a great job. I mean, Skirka is one of the younger. It's funny. Skirka was played on the Grand Valley State team when I was at USI. That we actually beat them to go to the World Series, 2007. So I've known Skirka for a long time, and to see now I'm aging myself here because he was playing when I was coaching, but. That young man has done a great job in his career, and he is a solid young coach, man. I mean, he really is. He's done a lot with what I'm going to say very little, in a sense of the whole picture, like all mid majors,
Sure.
compared to everything. He has a quality team. I mean, they've always been offensive, and they get to have some good starting pitching. We have to get in the pen. We have to make them use their pen, and that's going to be a key for us. And then offensively, we have to battle through the numbers and the different things, and do a really good job of of putting pressure on them the way we can offensively, of doing different things.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun to watch Indiana State and Murray State this weekend. Probably a little more of the same with what you had last weekend. Close series with Evansville, close series with Murray State. That's just kind of this time of year in MVC baseball. Coach, appreciate you joining this morning. Good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thanks, Joe.
That's going to do it for this week's edition of MVC Baseball Rawlings First Pitch. Join us every week from now until the MVC tournament at Duffy Bass Field on the campus of Illinois State as we interview each and every baseball coach in the Missouri Valley Conference. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next week.